What up, what up? It's your boy Diversified, dropping some more bullshit for you. So in this video, I'm going to talk about three problems I have with conservatives and most Republicans. Now, before you start chirping, I also have another video that talks about three problems that I have with liberals and most Democrats. So if you're going to watch this and talk shit or agree, watch the other videos so you can talk shit or agree. And I'm dropping it on both sides because I have issues with both sides, because generally that's what someone who's independent minded, a Sigma male, it's usually how we are. We're a little bit more, a lot more in the middle. We don't fall to either side because we're not fucking followers. So this is the perspective of someone who's generally independent minded, someone who has Sigma male traits, a Gen X Sigma male. If you're not a Sigma male, it's not your perspective. And to address some people in the comments from previous videos, the reason why I call myself a Sigma male, because they'll say Sigma males don't call themselves Sigma males. And you're right, we don't. But the reason why I do is for two reasons. One, it fucking helps the YouTube algorithm. Point blank. It helps the YouTube algorithm find who my fucking audience is. So there's different things that I say, there's different things in the video, there's different things in the thumbnail, there's different things in the title. That YouTube directed me towards you. I didn't fucking find you, you found me. So me calling myself a Sigma male, Gen X Sigma male, is me giving YouTube some help with finding me an audience. This is my perspective. If you're not a Sigma male, it's not your perspective. And Sigma males, we don't need fucking labels. So I don't call myself that so that you can know who I am. I don't give a fuck about what you think. You can like or you can dislike. It really don't fucking matter to me. But there are some people who don't quite know who they are yet. They do certain things, they behave a certain way, they have a certain perspective, and they don't quite really know why they do what they do. Well, I had a discovery like that. This is part of me coming across different things. I came across certain Sigma male shit because I don't even fucking follow astrology. You know, there's certain shit I'm like, yeah, that's your belief. I don't really believe that. But there's certain shit I came across and I was like, oh, that's why I do that. That's why I have those type of experiences. That's why I'm able to do that, but not that. That's all it is. It's a certain amount of self-education and self-awareness. If someone puts a label on it, then it's just so you know what the fuck they're talking about. But in general, I don't need no fucking labels, and I don't give a fuck about what you think. Now, let's get to the discussion. Well, it's not a discussion. Let's get to what I'm talking about. My three problems with conservatives and most Republicans. One, they often overpromise and underdeliver. Now, before you start barking, yes, I know the Democrats do this too. They both do it. If you go look at my other video that talks about my three problems with liberals and most Democrats, two of these problems relate to them too, just in a different way. So to stay on point, my first problem is conservatives and some Republicans often overpromise and underdeliver. Often they will approach things as if this conservative principle, this conservative policy, this conservative ideology is the answer. I don't know what the fuck you thinking of. This is the answer. We need to try this and save our country, save our community, or we're going to hell. And then you enact, by legislative pen or the acquiescence of some judge, you enact that policy. And there might have been some progress. Yeah, for sure. But it didn't save us. As a matter of fact, it potentially might have created new problems. So that's under-delivering. Like you present something, this tax cut is going to save the American economy. And then you look back on it and it's like, yeah, it mostly benefited the people who already had money. It's funny how that works out, ain't it? Or, we're going to deregulate everything and free up tens of millions of jobs. And then you look back at it and it's like, yeah, but those jobs were mostly underpaying and, ununionized. And I don't know, like, it's a job, but like, is it the right type of job? Now, yes, like I said, the Democrats do this too from their perspective, and I will talk about it in that video. So that's one way. The conservatives and some Republicans, they often act like, no, this principle, this conservative silver bullet is the answer. My second problem is the conservatives in particular, but most Republicans, they have their group is small knit. They have a small umbrella. There's 2 or 3 things that you have to prove that you go along with, that you believe in, and then maybe you'll get your conservative card. If you don't believe this, if you don't go along with this, you can't possibly call yourself conservative. Ask Mitt Romney. So, say hypothetical, just throwing it out there. Say abortion. If you're not someone who is anti-abortion, now, you may call it pro-life, but really, you have to be anti-abortion. If you're not anti-abortion, you can't possibly call yourself conservative. And you're going to struggle as Republican in some circles. If you do not believe in securing the border, if you do not believe it's an emergency and that major steps need to be taken to secure the fucking border, you can't call yourself conservative. If you believe in any type of restrictions or regulations to keep guns away from the average Americans, if you infringe on the Second Amendment in any type of way, you, my friend, cannot call yourself a conservative. And so what if you're someone that, like I say, you fully believe in tax cuts? You fully believe in a strong national defense. You fully believe in prayer in schools and, the Pledge of Allegiance being in the national anthem and everything being sung at every event. Like, what if you are one of those type of people, but you do think abortion should be available in some instances? Or you think maybe they should speed up citizenship? You're going to have problems because that circle, that umbrella, it's tight in there. It's tight in there. It's a lot of people packed into 2 or 3, maybe 4, but definitely a small amount of groups. And you have to be in that group for you to be considered a conservative. That's a problem, especially for someone who considers himself independent-minded. It's like, you can't shove me into a box, man. It's situational. It's subjective. Like, what's going on here? I agree or disagree, but I can't just go along because that's the party plan. I need to think about this. I need to evaluate this. But for some people, for you to think, that's a problem. You've now become dangerous because you try to think. Think about that. My third issue with Republicans, with conservatives, and a good amount of Republicans, and this is something that the Democrats do too from their perspective, so go look at my other video, is that the conservatives in particular, and most Republicans, they operate under this mindset of, if the government would just get the fuck out of the way, then good people will lift themselves up. And they'll carry America and they'll do what's right. And that's who we need to feed and care about. If the government will just get the fuck out of the way, the American people can progress. And the problem with that, or what often ends up becoming hypocritical with that is there are many times when the government does try to step out of the way. And certain conservative circles, Republicans, are like, no. We need you right now. What makes people think that tax cuts isn't something from the fucking government? Did you give yourself a tax cut? Did you and your homeboy, we decided that we only gonna pay 10% taxes? The government. So when you get a tax increase, you're pissed because the government gave you a rise in taxes. I got to pay more. Well, when you pay less, it's because the government, legislators, decided that you should pay less. It's still from the fucking government. When you get deregulation, who was regulating you? It wasn't me. Who was regulating you? When I start up a business, when I buy land and I'm trying to build this property and get shit going, do you come and regulate it? No. Who regulates it? So when shit gets deregulated, wasn't it from the government too? So for someone to take the stance of the government needs to get out of the way so the good people can finally ascend, you did that because the government gave you the ability to ascend. Otherwise, you'd be on the same fucking playing field as everybody else. So you start off with like this good principle, like, yeah, you know, good people should have these shackles taken off, these chains taken off, and be able to rise. Yeah, who doesn't disagrees with that? And then you realize, well, like, oh, you were able to rise because the government said you only needed to put 5% down. We had to put down 25%. I didn't decide that shit. You didn't decide that shit. Who decided that? And that was the ability for you to raise yourself from your bootstraps while we still fumbling here with the loops. So people fully get and understand and want to be able to lift themselves up by their own bootstraps. But if someone's constantly putting their finger in the loops or pushing you over as you try to tie your shoes, I mean, what the fuck? Who's doing that? So there's people who say the system is rigged. Okay. But kind of like Monopoly, when shit's going bad, oh, this some bullshit. The game is against me. It's kind of like the algorithm. YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, anything. When you're not getting the views that you want, oh, this shit's going against me. It's going against me. Until you get the views that you want. Now it's because of your hard work. Maybe. So those are my 3 problems. But in 2 of them, the Democrats do them too. So go check out that other video, my 3 problems with liberals and most Democrats. Because that's why in the eyes of a Sigma male, someone who's more independent minded, it's like, man, I'm looking at both of y'all. I got 2 eyes. They can split if they need to. Not really. But I got peripheral vision, motherfuckers. So I can be looking at multiple things. And I see both of you moving, both of you speaking, both of you soliciting me and other people in a certain type of way. And we peep that shit out. That's all I'm saying. So when I make these videos, I'm not on here saying I'm voting for Joe Biden. I'm not on here saying I'm voting for Donald Trump. I'm telling you the shit that I see, the different times when the mask falls, the different times when it's like, hold on, what was up with that? That's all I'm saying from the perspective of someone who's generally in the middle. If you're tilted and more to the other side, I'm going to say some shit that might offend you. I really don't give a fuck. This wasn't for you. You found me. I didn't find you. This wasn't for you. So if you agree, sweet. If you don't, sweet. But it's just me talking some shit. It's just me saying something from my perspective, which I'm sure you do because everybody's a fucking critic. Everybody's got an opinion, and you know what that is. So I'm going to finish smoking this. Go get into some other shit. Your boy, holla at you in a little bit.